Hello, everyone. My name is Farhad from Think Hard Consultants. Today, we are going to discuss again something new, and some of them we are already aware of. This is again, the topic will be on how to increase points for permanent residency. As we are already aware that how the point calculation, how does the point calculation work, and how competitive it can be. In any case, there are few tricks and tips we would like to provide you so that you don't fall short in this PR competition, because in any case you need to meet the point testing requirement. So there are several ways how you can increase your points for the permanent residency. So we will be discussing on this shortly. But before that, we would like to allow our audience to join us for 1 or 2 minutes. And at the same time, we will play some promotional video for your reference. Thank you.
Professional Year Programs. Professional Year Programs are well-structured professional development programs for engineering, accounting, and IT professionals. This also leads you to an additional 5 points towards general skilled migration applications. Contact Think Higher Consultants at thinkhigher.com.au.
Thank you for staying. Welcome back. So let's start from the beginning again. I'm Farhad. I'm from Think Higher Consultants. We are located at level 3, 105 Queen Street, Melbourne, Vic 3000. In the T carrier at the bottom, you would be able to find our contact details. If you think that it will be much inconvenient for you to visit us, you're welcome to drop your query at the email address which is mentioned below, applications@thinkhigher.com.au. At the same time, feel free to give us a call 0435 600 610. Same number. You can also WhatsApp us if you'd like, if that is much convenient for you. Um, so in any case, today we will discuss about permanent residency, so that you can have some ideas, or if you're already aware of this information, so that you can you can also understand, and if you have any question, you can ask us. We will try to answer your questions in details as much as possible. Um, so today we are going to discuss about how to increase your points for permanent residency. So there are few generic information for where you are getting the points anyway, and there are some other additional requirements which if you could meet, you will get additional points in your PR. So, and at the same time, we'll be taking questions, and then we'll also discuss about the recent updates we received from different states and how things are going. So that if you are from different states, if you're not in Victoria, if you have queries about other states, you also have those information with you. And for those information, we will have our registered migration agent, Mr. Anil Khwaja, will be with us. So he will be providing the most of the information to you, and I will be cooperating. So without any further delay, let's welcome Mr. Anil Khwaja with us. Hello, Anil. Welcome.
Thank you, Farad. Thank you for having me today. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How's everything?
Everything is fine.
Yes. So Anil, as today we are going to discuss about how our clients or any applicant can increase his or her points in permanent residency, as we are already aware how competitive this point testing system could be. So for a single 5 points, for 5 points, how far you can go ahead, and also you can fall behind in this race. So based on your experience, we will be discussing on this, and then we will also take questions if we have any relevant questions, and then we will try to discuss in details. So in your opinion, so just give us a brief overview how an applicant can increase his or her point.
Alrighty. So see, we at the moment we're talking about the permanent residency applications, or which normally in our language which called general skill migration.
Yes.
So they require points. There are a couple of subclasses. One is 491 for the regional sponsorship. Then there is another subclass called 189, that's the direct permanent residency, and then 190, that's again a state sponsorship but the direct permanent residency. All these three streams require you to have point testing. There's another subclass that is 491 family sponsorship, that is also part of 491, that also requires you to have certain amount of points in order to meet the eligibility criteria. But at the moment, as you know, since the competition is so high and it's so competitive towards the Australian immigration, you need certain high points in order to meet the the invitation criteria. So there is one eligibility criteria, other one is the invitation criteria. So invitation criteria is based on the pool system and the queue system. The more points you have it, the more chance you have it to get an invitation. Now, increasing points, generically, there are couple of factors where you can increase your points. The first and the foremost is the English language. So if you can grab max, if you want to grab a maximum English points, then you need to go with 8 each in IELTS. It can be academic or general, and equivalent is 79 each in PTE. So that's a maximum superior English where you get maximum up to 20 points. So that's where you can grab most of the points towards English. Then, if you fall a bit short, 7 each in IELTS or equivalent PTE like 65 each will give you 7 points. Minimum eligibility criteria is 6 each. So you must have at least 6 each, that is equivalent to 50 each in PD, in order to meet the eligibility criteria that is mandatory for the general skill migration. So that is point one. Now let's come to the second point, which is a bit, lots of now the consultants or the agencies are merging these two, points factor together, is the NATI. So lots of people do English coaching along with the NATI coaching. So NATI gives you additional 5 points. The good part is NATI recently introduced CCL, which is like a year or so. They have introduced that CCL test, which is hardly a 5 to 10 minutes. And once you pass this test, you get 5 points. So that's called credential community language test and give you 5 points. It can be any language which NATI CCL is offering, like Hindi, Urdu, Punjabi, even Telugu, then Bengali, and then there are heaps of, like, even Portuguese are there, French is there, Italian is there. So whatever language you speak, you need to just check with NATI CCL that whether they are offering this test or not, and then you can apply for that. Good part with these two things are, like, these two factors are, you can grab maximum points while you're offshore as well. So it's not just you need to be in Australia. You can, even without even coming to Australia, get maximum 25 points being overseas, never been to Australia, because NATI is an online test, plus the IELTS and PT is available all over the world. So these two things are pretty easy to grab. Another factor which leads to the more points is a professional year. So IT, accounting, and engineering. So lots of people are now doing PY because that 5 points really matters. And once you go into the PY, you get maximum opportunity to grab a internship, and internship may lead you to the job as well, which ultimately gives you an advantage to get a Victoria State sponsorship. Or Victoria, I'm talking about because we are in Victoria, but there are lots of other states who does require the job offers and experience. So you can meet the requirement. It would be a first step, or first, a milestone towards grabbing the job. Because obviously you need to ensure that you get into the market, grab a job, the relevant job, and then take it from there. Then another, the very important factor is the regional study. So regional study gives you additional points, and the good part is now the regional study can lead you to another 2 years of temporary residency. So altogether, you get 4 years of TR. That is massive. I mean, in our time, we were only have the graduate entry where you get only 18 months. But then they moved to post-study work rights, and now another 2 years on TI if you're in a regional center, have studied in certain postcodes or regional areas, you get more points along with 2 years or more TR. That is altogether a provisional permanent residency, if you can say, because 491 is 5 years, and whereas TR is of 4 years. So you have plenty of time to grab more points, prepare yourself for the experience and all, and then work out things. Now, the the fifth the factor is the work experience. So work experience can also lead you to a very good points, especially when it comes to the overseas and onshore experience. Maximum points you can claim up to 20. Overseas, if you have 8 plus experience, where maximum you can go up to 15 points. But in Australia, if you're working in Australia from 1 year up till 7 years, 8 years plus, you get maximum up to 20 points. Because here, for 1 year experience, minimum 20 hours per week considered to be full time, you get 5 points. 3 years, 10 points. 5 years, 15 points, and 8 years plus will give you 20 points. You can also merge two experience together. Say if you have 15 points from overseas experience, 8 plus experience, you can have an additional 1 year experience in Australia, grab it up to 20 points, which is massive. It is, it turn around your the whole point testing to a positive uh, opportunity. Then another, the sixth point is the PhD, because master of research will lead you up to 15 points, but if you have done PhD, will get another additional 5 points. That leads you to 20 points. Then one more thing, like Australian immigration is quite, these time they are focused at the STEM studies, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So if you fall under these and you have done master of research, you get additional 5 points more, and that leads to another 1 year further TR as well. So if you do a master of research, you get 3 years of TR. And sometimes if you get an honorary PhD, in your case, like so you get additional 2 years more for the TR. That altogether 4 years of TR. That is massive. So these all points, and these all are the factors where you get maximum points for PR.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Anil. So that was pretty informative. In fact, for the regional study, we actually had a previous discussion, and we came live and discuss on these things. So there are even states who are allowing you to apply for the state nomination straight away, just by studying in the regional areas. So
Absolutely.
that opens the door, and that is less complicated. You do not need any job offer. You just complete your education properly, and just show them that you are committed to the state, as Darwin is doing that. It's the things will be even easier for regional study, because at the same time they are getting extra points, and they are also it is also an easier pathway to permanent residency. So.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely.
So, Anil, let's see. Whether we have any comments from our audience. So let's just. So it is saying that I'll narrate it for you. Hello, I have a question regarding visa time for surplus 500 offshore. How much time it can take further? And
All right.
in addition to that, I have lost my file. It's been 2 months now. How much time it can take further?
All right. So if it's a student visa from offshore, it may take up to 3 months to up to 6 months. So it depends on how the COVID situation is. Recently, the Department of Immigration has given us the information that there are delays in the visa processing just because due to the COVID, they are not really processing the offshore applications quickly. So that is the reason it might be taking a bit longer than you expected. So, but see, we have got the visa grants in 10 days as well, especially level one university from Pakistan, and even one case from India a few days back, hardly 15 days. So it can go from 15 days up to 6 months. So you can just say that this person has got the visa in 15 days, so my visa should come into 15 days as well. There is no comparison. Your visa file can go to any of the delegate, any of the Department of Home Affairs offices, and they might have more workload, so they might take more time in processing. There are some hidden processing as well towards the visa application, like character checks, or some intelligence checks, and also that may take couple of more months as well in order to get a visa grant. So don't stress if everything is fine and you feel like your application is good. You hopefully you'll get the visa in next few days or months. Yeah.
And you are also welcome to contact us if you want to have a further discussion on this. So check our contact details below. So even if you are offshore, you don't have to worry about that. Just contact us, and then we'll try to give you as much as information possible, and so that you can have a peace of mind. So Anil, thanks for that. So now, since the purpose of the discussion about the permanent residencies anyway, so now we know that we have some updates from the state. So whether it would be ongoing, or whether when they would be start to open. So let's start with Victoria, the registration of interest, because the second round, as we know that we have seen some success in January round. So and then the February round will open from February 2. So let's just revisit the requirements, and then we can see that, I mean, whether if anyone is interested, then they can also contact us. So let's discuss about Victoria ROI a little bit.
Sure. So as Farad, you have given the basic information. The next round is coming starting from Feb 2nd. The good part is that we have tried somewhere around, I think, more than somewhere 100 applications or so for the ROI last round, and it turns out to be a massive hit. We have got cross industry approvals as well, being an accountant, getting a food production approval, and more are expecting that we will be getting it very soon, because lots of them are nurses as well. But this is quite interesting that being an accountant working in a food production in a regional area, that person has got the Victoria 491 in on the very same day when they were announcing the first, the outcomes. So second round would be pretty much the same. I had a good opportunity to become a part of the Victorian business, the webinar. They have done it for last week, and they have given an insight about the journal skill migration, because the policy is pretty much the same. So they really want people who have helped, the industry, the Victorian industry in this COVID situation. So if they have, help in the Victorian economy recovery plan, all industries are welcome to apply. Though particularly for 190, they've specifically chosen health and medical and life sciences in a way that if you're directly involved in the COVID-19 thing, but health and medical are the most prominent streams they have introduced. But for 491, that's very interesting. 491 leads to lots of other industries as well, because if you can see life sciences have somewhere around 20 to 30 sub streams under itself. Like pharmacy is part of the life sciences as well, biology, zoology, and then medicine, all those. So they are also a part of life sciences. That if you fall under one of these, you can apply. uh, Furthermore, if you go with data sciences, again, data sciences has heaps of other streams. IT is one of the core ones, but then if you're helping somebody into the health sector, building applications for health sector, or you have recently introduced services into your IT, the company, that leads to also 491 and 190. Depends on how you cross match it. So, ways are heaps, but the most important factor is you should need to consult a registered migration agent and discuss the cases with you. We were amazed that every day we get heaps of queries, like dozens of queries, and they most of them are meeting Victoria 491. Like recently, today I've got one inquiry that that person is working in a regional area, which helps making the COVID-19 testing kit. So one of the part of the kit they are making it, and another one with the production industry, they are making the Ziploc bags for that kits. So you can connect to heaps of industries where people have no idea, but still they are part of that industry and they can apply. So we would strongly suggest that you should contact us, take chance for this Victoria ROI because this is the only hope you have it while you're in Victoria. And if you meet the requirement, obviously, if you're not meeting the requirement, if it's a no situation, then we'll guide you that how we're gonna upfront go further with, in next couple of months, we can plan out accordingly for you.
Yeah, so thank you, Anil. So adding to that, so if you are currently living in metro area and residing there, so if you can show that you have 6 months of ongoing experience in your skilled occupation or maybe in the target sector, not necessarily that you have to work directly in that relevant field, but if you can demonstrate your ability that you are currently involved in this industry, you can try with Victoria ROI as well. The issue is, I mean, this is not a visa refusal, so it won't have any impact on your ongoing process or any of the process you're going to proceed in the future. But in any case, if the Victoria ROI is successful, then you're one step closer to PR. So two important statements which we need to provide. One is the purpose of the business. So in this case, certainly we guide our clients accordingly how to prepare that, because it's only 1500 characters with spaces. So this very concise. And so this statement is very important. And secondly, how an applicant's ability or qualification and experience can meet the, for the COVID-19 response, and how it is crucial to Australian economic recovery. So if they are somehow can manage this one, and then for Victoria 190 ROI with 6 months of ongoing experience, they can go for that in the target sectors. For the regional one, 3 months of ongoing experience and residency as well. So I'm just adding those information just so that the viewers, they have their complete information. Although we already provided those information before as well when we came to know about this step. So hopefully we'll be able to learn more and get more feedback from our clients or any of the viewers.
Yes, and also Farad, what we can right now just explain them that what would be the how much time they have it for the Fab intake round. So I think there is a table where we can find the from second to I think it's until 7th or 8th of Feb. You can lodge the applications, and then the outcome would be on 17 or 18 or maybe 19th of Feb.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
19th of February is the selection day. So they will
Okay.
be sending emails to the applicants, if that
Yeah,
person is ROI successful. So
that's right.
then they can apply for the state nomination application. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So Anil, before we move to our next discussion, we'll take a short interval. Then we'll just then again we'll be in touch soon. Thank you very much.
Are you a recent engineering graduate and dreaming to get an experience of working, living, and studying in Australia for up to 18 months? We are here to assist you in fulfilling your wish. We will guide you with your skilled recognized graduate visa, subclass 476, process.
Contact Think Higher Consultants at thinkhigher.com.au.
So welcome back. Thank you very much for your patience, and thanks for waiting. So Anil, we will go to our next discussion, because we also have updates from other states apart from Victoria. So just we are very excited that Tasmania will start their nomination round from the start to accept the nomination application from January 29th. So what's your suggestion and what's your feedback on this?
All right, so it's much awaited because Tasmania has been really tough on lots of candidates who have applied earlier. Now, since they will be opening up on 29th of Jan, they have changed their policies. So now they're particularly eyeing on the critical sector where they feel like those are the critical sector, especially health and medicine is one of them. But they are also putting a lot of efforts on infrastructure industry, like where civil buildings, civil engineers, and these all comes into play. So if you are a trade worker in an infrastructure industry or building and construction industry, you should look into this one. But for that, they have particularly requested that you must be working or have relevant qualification in Tasmania and has a skill nominated occupation skill assessment as well. For instance, you are a civil engineer, get your skill assessment from Engineers Australia, no matter it's an overseas study, but you should have studied in Tasmania in the one of their four, five, the preferred stream, which one of them is the infrastructure. So that can be one option. Otherwise, if you work for 6 months full time in Tasmania, they will consider, but any job won't be an ideal scenario at this stage, which used to be last year. So if you're working in any of the industry, they won't be considering that. You must be showing that you are in a health industry or a medical industry, or maybe some sort of a social worker thing or community services that will still acceptable. Also for chefs and cook, which are also integral part of hospitality, which is under their preferred industry, but they want chefs and cook to be in a proper dining restaurant. So if you are a part of a fast food or something, they won't be accepting that one. Otherwise, for instance, if say if you are a manager at Nando's and your employer is unable to, run the restaurant without you, you must have a significant proofs to show that you are running the show. Especially one of our few clients, we are lodging the application. They are part of that such, setup where we need to show that they have significant proofs to justify the state sponsorship, especially Tasmania one, that without them that restaurant will close down. So and they are helping. They even during the COVID situation, they have given exceptional services, and especially towards the financial part to Tasmania state growth. Paying the taxes on time, not taking those what you call the job seeker or job keeper payments from the government. So these all counts. So if you have these documents and you justify, then you have fair chance in Tasmania. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good thing that Tasmania is considering chefs and cooks. I mean, because that as we are already aware that people from trade occupations, people having skilled occupation from trades, they were having a little bit of difficulties in meeting the requirement, particularly let's say for Victoria, or maybe even New South Wales as well. Because although New South Wales they might revise the occupation list like Canberra did recently, but still, I mean, they are still in confusion. So Tasmania is actually opened the door for them. So people, if someone is stuck with their occupation and they need a pathway, then Tasmania could be a very good option for them.
That's right.
So okay, so then let's just go for our next update we have, which is we received recently from Queensland.
Yes, so the Queensland, the good part is the small business stream is always there. So they are still accepting those who fall under the small business stream. So quick brief overview about the small business stream is that you must be having a full work rights. You have been operating a business who has, when you bought that one, it has to be 100K value. With an Australian permanent resident or citizen must be working under you minimum 20 hours per week, must be showing that genuinely you have recruited that person. It's not like before lodging an application you just hire them for a week or so. That shouldn't be the case. Plus that occupy the business needs to be in a regional Queensland. They have given the postcodes, so you must ensure that your business is there. Apart from that, the other journal skill migration, the Queensland will open up. They haven't issued or published any list as of now, but most likely it would be the similar list like last time they have published it. So all mostly engineers, cooks, chefs, and lots of trade occupations would be there. The requirement pretty much the same, that you must be working in a regional Queensland in order to meet the 491 requirement. Minimum work experience would be from 3 months to 6 months. 3 months, after 3 months you can definitely apply. 190, there would be additional requirements, and most probably the 190 they might be giving to all the medical and health professions, so not to the other occupations. So that I believe that would be the requirements coming up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully Queensland will also give us some update on that and how a person can meet the requirement. Um, so Anil, before we move to the next state for discussion, we will take some questions from the audience, which let's say that, so which is the most generic one, let's say. So it says Mr. Daniel Ghani is saying how much points are required to meet a state sponsorship PR.
All right. So minimum requirement is 60 for 190 and 55 for 491, and then subject to meeting their own state requirements. So if you particularly asking precisely asking for the point testing, then you need 55 and 60 respectively for 491 and 190.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. So I'll just quickly take another one. If I'll do 2 years of MBA study from Northern Territory State, do I have chance of getting PR? As I have listened, NT will give a South Class 190 if you completed 2 years of study there.
Alrighty. So MBA graduates can, but subject to if you have a positive skill assessment under the NT list. So say if you back from back home, you are an engineer, you have already got your skill assessment, then obviously you can do 2 years of MBA and apply for 190 because you're meeting the NT requirement. So yeah, that should be easy. Yeah. I don't think so. There would be any issues applying for 190.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you, Anil. So that's all we have so far from the audience. Then again, the final state probably will see. They Western Australia provided an update. I mean, like a few weeks back. So they have released their own occupation list in two different streams, general one and the graduate one. So we won't be going through the whole occupation list because certainly it will take way more time on that. So our take is that accountant, they removed it from the list. So putting lots of Western Australia graduates or many people who are targeting the family stream in any case. So what's your take on this? So accountants, what they should do then?
The unfortunate part was that they have removed all the accountants. So no accountant, even taxation, management, everybody. But now there is one another occupation which is called finance manager, which can be assessed with pretty much the same qualification. Now they obviously require 12 months of the contract or a job offer, or you must be working in Western Australia for 12 months. That obviously you need to work out and find a job as a finance manager, but that can be done. So not many people are getting the job. So if you already have a job, you speak to employer, see if you can get um, 12 months of job offer, 12 months of experience, and then apply, should be all good. So that's the only way you can go with the state sponsored Western Australia. Yep.
Okay. Yes, so that's all we have pretty much. So then again, I mean, once we have any update, because every week or every month or every fortnightly, we're receiving some updates from the state regarding the state nomination, the invitation round, and everything. So just to wrap up, at first I need to thank you for your time and for your valuable advice on this. Then yes, so we will take a look into this. So sorry about that, Anil. Just I think we quickly look. We got a quick comment from them. So then again, we will come to the concluding remarks.
Sure.
So I'll just put it here. Ishan said, I'm working as an electrical engineer. So if I get a skill assessment as an electrical engineering draftsperson, can I claim point for work experience as draftsperson?
All right. So first, electrical engineer and draft person are two different occupations, but might be an electrical engineer also doing a draft person job in some cases where you need to do it from the scratch. So if you're working on a CAD, that's called a computer aided design software, and you've been drafting the schematics or all the diagrams required for the structuring and infrastructuring or helping the architecture or civil engineers, uh, then you can definitely claim the experience, subject to if you have around 50 to 60% of work being done as a draft person. So you need to ensure that you must have the responsibilities more than 50% into your work experience. Then should be all good, because in electrical and draft person comes under. So electrical is obviously the topmost, the professional engineer, whereas draft person is more technical part. But yes, as I told you, it all depends on the job responsibilities.
So we are aware that maybe because of the occupation list. So he is more, Ishan is more interested in New South Wales, and as we know that New South Wales, I mean, in the data, the electrical engineering draft person is in the New South Wales list. So that's why Ishan was interested in electrical engineering draft person rather than electrical engineering, because
Yes, so
anywhere
he
we.
can, yeah,
Mhm.
he needs to apply for electrical engineering draft person as early as possible, since the work is very relevant. And obviously, the relevancy, if there a relevancy, then New South Wales can definitely consider his experience, even though if he has done as an electrical
Mm.
engineer. Yeah.
So yeah, so thank you, Anil, for your time. I think so. You certainly have provided the information which we were after. In fact, we received more information than what we asked. So I will let you leave now. Then I will just quickly wrap up what we have just discussed, and then hopefully we'll see again for new updates.
Thank you so much and have a good day. Cheers.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. So that was our registered feedbacks and comments and advice from our registered migration agent, Mr. Anil Khwaja. So just to wrap up, in what we actually discussed, so I'll just give you some ideas. If you have just joined us, you do not need to be worried or concerned. You can always recap this video. And just in case, if you have any question, you are welcome to put this on our comment section. And one of us will be in touch with you shortly so that we can give you the best guidance possible regarding education, regarding migration, whichever you think that is your major concern. We will try to help you out as much as possible. So today we discussed about how you can increase your points for the permanent residency, as we are aware that how competitive permanent residency could be. We discussed about the English language proficiency. And again, if you are struggling with getting 79 each, which is 8 each in IELTS equivalent, we are welcome to email us pteclasses@thinkhan.com.au. We have our expert PT trainers, and we have received massive outcome, remarkable outcome, to be honest. Someone who maybe was having competent English and that person was struggling with that, because as we know that with competent English, we are not getting any point for that. So we have received a real life example that that person received 79 each. So from competent English to superior English within few months of training, this is a huge achievement. So if you think that you want to give it a try, just feel free to give us a call. So English language proficiency is one of the major barriers which you need to overcome so that you can get the maximum points. So you can get 20 points from here. Then we discussed about the NATI. We discussed about professional year, regional study, Australian work experience or overseas work experience, how those can award you extra points and keep you ahead in this PR race. Then once again, there are other additional, like if you studied in STEM, master's by research or PhD, you can increase your points here as well. And benefits of regional study, we also gave a quick recap what we discussed a few weeks back. Then we had some updates about Victoria ROI. So just to give you a reminder that Victoria registration of interest for February round will open from February 2. So if you think that you're meeting the requirement, 6 months of work experience, ongoing work experience, and 6 months residency, or in regional, 3 months ongoing experience and 3 months of residency, you should have all the documents. We have already provided you the target sectors. So if you are working in one of those target sectors, you're welcome to contact us. We'll try to build your case, because the cross matching the industrial work, This is also very important, and how you prepare the statements. Then we provided updates on the Tasmania state nomination. They will open for the state nomination skill migration from nomination application portal from January 29th, which is within just 2 days. The Queensland provided a recent update that they will start taking application, or they will start taking the EOIs from February 1, 2021. So we have pretty good amount of updates about these states. Then Western Australia, they provided the occupation list and the requirements. So we just revisited those requirements for you. For accountants, we provided an update about an alternative, how they can find another pathway for them towards permanent residency. So that's all we have for now. Hopefully, we have been able to provide you all the required information. Just in case if you have missed out on anything, or if you have any query which you have, or which is bothering you, or maybe you need to ask our experts, feel free to give us a call or email us. Our contact details are provided at the bottom. So my name is Farhad. So I'm signing out for the time being. So hopefully we'll see each other again. Hope to see you soon. Take care and goodbye.
Skilled Migration Visa Assistance. Australia is now offering permanent residency status to general skilled migration visa holders. Stay connected with us to get updated information on Skilled Independent Visa, Subclass 189, Skilled Nominated Visa, Subclass 190, Skilled Sponsored Visa, Subclass 491, and Skilled Regional Visa, Subclass 887. Contact Think Higher Consultants at thinkhigher.com.au.